Programmer's Digest has been asked to include an audio interview with Jim Croce for lifting at use by stations, so here it is. Our interview was furnished through the courtesy of WMAK Nashville, and Coyote McCloud, popular nighttime personality, talks with Jim.
Your home is Pennsylvania? Or
Yeah.
What part?
Southeastern, down toward the Maryland border.
Oh.
Coatesville.
Coatesville, sure.
Yeah. The thriving metropolis.
It's the ball-bearing capital of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those.
I've heard of it.
Well, we really live in Wagon Town.
Oh. You still live up there?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't moved to New York or L.A. or?
No, I moved to New York one time. I'd never move there again.
Why? I don't blame you.
Maybe it was
Why?
just things weren't going right when I was living up there, but I just didn't like the pace. I didn't like the things I was doing.
How long have you been in the business?
About 10, 11 years.
Where did Don't Mess Around with Jim come from?
From hanging around a lot of pool rooms when I was a kid.
Did you, when you got into the business, did you start doing folk houses? And
Yeah, that's when a lot of folk things were going on.
Yeah.
I was playing a lot of coffee houses. There used to be a lot of them.
You don't look like a rock and roll singer. You don't even look like a folk singer.
No.
What does he look like? He looks like a Greek what? A Greek bricklayer, possibly.
Yeah, I've done a lot of construction work. I suppose that's, just you become what you look like.
Yeah, I guess
you know?
so. Yeah. That's a good thing you didn't become a dress designer.
Yeah.
Anyway, the new album, Life and Times. You wrote all this stuff.
Yeah.
You write such great lyrics, man. Where do you get your inspiration for all this?
Just looking a lot.
Just observations on your travels and
yeah.
When do you write?
I write a lot at night in hotel rooms.
You're working steadily on the on is it in concert or
yeah? We did the in concert show.
In concert.
They taped that at 4:45 in the morning.
You're kidding. Where?
Christmas Eve in Madison Square Garden.
4:45 in the morning. Where do they get an audience?
Oh, it was right after a Grand Funk concert.
Oh.
So they taped them until like midnight. Then they started moving equipment around.
Yeah, it was like they impounded their equipment, right?
Yeah.
Up in New York.
They started the equipment game. I, take your amp and raise you 2 speakers,
Yes, I remember reading about that.
The great big thing was going on.
Yeah, I remember.
So we didn't get on to 4:45 in the morning. And, well, the crowd originally was 19,000 people.
Is that right?
And they let about half of them out. It was really something. The people were getting off 4:45 in the morning. And we weren't the last group to do any taping. They were on after us.
It was a good show. You really came off beautifully.
It was fun. We had to reverse our schedules. We're getting up at midnight, training for it. We know it's going to be a late one, You sleep all day.
It's a good show, the in concert. Do you like that concept, the live rock music, primetime TV?
Yeah, I think and the simulcast idea is nice, too, because it brings a different element of sound. Music, is such a big form of entertainment and communication is great. And I think that in putting the acts on TV up until now, it hasn't really been showing the full sound.
That's right.
Because music in the past couple of years has changed so much sound-wise. There's a lot more depth to it.
People don't realize, I don't think, when, they figure, look at these guys making all this money, and what do? They get 3 hours a night, or 45 minutes, or 90 minutes a night. They go up there and and sing.
If it was just that, it'd be something. But it takes 8 hours a day sometimes to get 400 miles.
Yeah, sometimes more than that.
Sure, the weather messes you up, and you end up sitting in an airport. That's the part that makes you tired. The playing, I could sit and play for a couple weeks.
What were the early influences on your music?
A lot of old country stuff, like old Jimmy Rogers, Fats Waller, the jazz piano player. He was just happy, good time things back in the 30s and 40s. Bessie Smith. A lot of Dixieland.
Really?
Had a lot of Dixieland. Well, these are the kind of records that were around the house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I got into radio when I was in college and started, this is like the folk time.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lot of folk shows. And I started playing in bluegrass bands.
Was that right?
Yeah. Playing in a lot of bars. At VFW Post and American Legion things, Friday night, Saturday night, yeah.
Yeah. That's rough.
And then started doing the coffee houses. Oh, some of those places were really, you need a cholera shot to go in them.
Where do you see the future of contemporary music, rock music? Do you think all the talk is that it's going back to where it was, the 50s?
Well, I think, the 50s music was fun. It was a good time.
Sure was.
It was just really good time music. It wasn't any big philosophy or, ain't it terrible?
Yeah, but
no social message. It was fun. I think a lot of the nostalgia that's come about in the 50s revival is people looking for good time music. Something that's just funky enough to make them stomp their feet. I was reading something in a book the other night. John Philip Sousa, the guy that was, the big marching band guy, said that jazz, and as it was coming in, he was making a comment on it. He said music like that will always be around as long as people listen to it with their feet instead of with their head.
As you can tell, Jim Croce was a down-to-earth guy, liked by everyone with whom he came in touch. And his passing is a loss to the music and radio industry alike. You'll find our print article, the last interview Jim gave, most interesting and worthwhile reading. PD and the industry sadly says so long to a nice guy.